Optic Gaming last night. Optic now having to fight through the losers bracket, going up against Luminosity, who is perfect in this tournament, 5-0 so far.
Luminosity perfect. Envy, the only series they've dropped is to now United, who we just saw move into our top three, waiting in that winners bracket final. They look absolutely perfect right now this weekend. What Envy will we see, though? The Envy that destroyed Optic or the Envy that did drop that series? We'll have to find out.
If you look at the main slayers in this matchup, my eyes, I'm looking at Slacked, I'm looking at Saints here from Luminosity on the other end. It's going to be the battle of Apathy and John, I think. Those have been the two stars. You look at the respawn numbers. John coming into this one with a 1.22 KD. Apathy right behind him with a 1.2. That's higher than both of the other players on Luminosity who are at 1.18.
And any numbers like that are pretty darn good, if you ask me. Envy, they look way better than they did at Vegas. That is more than safe to say. But now they have another tough opponent here in Luminosity Gaming. Folks, it is Championship Sunday here at the CWL Atlanta Open. Let's get into game number one. It's Scorch Hardpoint.
And this game is going to set the tone here for our best of five. The opening battle, as always, right in the middle of the map. Who's going to get first blood? It's Classic with the grenade taking out John. Apathy trying to answer back. Those jammer grenades are going to force him down for a moment. And this is Luminosity winning your opening fight. They will have control early on.
And you can already see the game plan from Slack, right? You want to flip these spawns towards a turbine side. He'll begin to put pressure towards this factory area. And winning that first gunfight realistically should begin to put on enough pressure for these spawns to flip. And there you see on your minimap, JCap, the first kill he got all the way out towards rocks. A perfect start for Luminosity in this game.
Slack going to be finally taken down. That's actually 4 dead. Envy going to have some room to breathe here, can rotate around freely. They're going to pick up as much scrap time as possible, though. Still 13 points remaining, and they're going to come in to this second hard point with about a tie score. You're going to see the final time picked up by JCap. Here comes a big rotation. Apathy has to stop Luminosity here.
Yeah, he's got 4 players about to charge at him and only 1 teammate there with him. What can Envy do? The first player flying on in is going to be Classic. He gets cut down. Slack there for the trade. They just outmuscle Envy by pushing that catwalk. They've got the lanes pushed out now with Saints still inside this factory. Nice job by LG to get the kills on rotation. And now it's Envy's turn to go for this break.
Taking a look right now at Classic. He is off to a pretty strong start. Going to be slowed down. Slack, though, already 4-1. Just picked up 2 kills. He's set up. He's a player to look out for because he was quite streaky yesterday. We saw multiple 9-kill sprees from him, an 11-kill spree at times. Saints, on the other hand, he's going to be the guy trying to just trade kills evenly, go for those multi-kills, and constantly press up and force that action.
I think another thing to point out, too, is Octane at 58 seconds already inside the objective. A formal type role for his team. As play has developed in Infinite Warfare, we've seen these AR players be the ones in the hard point while they let their a little bit more aggressive players kind of move around the map, push out the lanes, as you're seeing with the likes of Saints and Slack off the break of this one. It's LG currently up by 40 seconds, and these respawns, extremely important. Puckett, one thing to keep in mind, Envy is still undefeated in Search and Destroy this weekend. So you know LG know this. They absolutely realize respawn hardpoints are a must-win in this series.
Luminosity hasn't dropped a scorched hardpoint either. They've only played 1. But Envy, this is their first time on this map for hardpoint. They're off to a slow start, and you can see Luminosity. They controlled all of Turbine, but this is where Envy can make up ground. They've taken control of the hangar. They have a solid setup with 3 players inside. They have the choke points locked down. Luminosity, this could be tough to break in.
Yeah, and they're going to use a Scarab. They're possibly whatever tool they can bring on out for this, but Saints gets first blooded. They only have 3 players there. One of them is stuck inside that score streak, so Envy hold that off with ease. That will bring this game back within 10. Envy absolutely keeping this one close, and the big thing is John has had a slow start to this game.
Absolutely, John not off to the performance like that we saw last night. Slasher, on the other hand, he started 3-5 on a 5 spree right now. 2 kills away from securing some score streaks. That bombardment can be so huge here on the drill. And
we've seen the Scarab get more and more use as of late there. Another kill onto Slack with it, as he's going to now be on a 6 streak, pushing towards this major alert if he can get this 7th kill, and it's not going to happen. The pressure from Deck just too much. JCap last here for Envy. He'll get cut down. Luminosity hold off the first push.
Luminosity, 30 points still to gather here on the hill. They lead by about 35. And it's going to be Classic set up first to watch this doorway. Picked right away by John. The headshot is going to land for Envy. So 3 players still in the hard point. The push being slowed down. It's Octane with the melee, Slacked with the K-bar, but JCap will force his way through. Envy with 12 seconds remaining should be able to pick up some final points before rotating once again.
And I was talking to some of the guys on Luminosity prior to this series, and there's so much friendship between these two teams. We've seen the banter between, you know, Classic and JCap before. I said, Classic, give me a prediction. He said, it's going to be a good one. And then Mud Dog walked over and goes, but JCap's a burger, right? He goes, oh, he's absolutely a burger. Right now, JCap doing what he can with this team. Obviously, the 2-time world champion, more than just a burger in his Call of Duty career.
Absolutely. I saw a tweet from TJ Haley. He said, you know what? JCap reminds me of Tim Duncan of Call of Duty.
Okay. I know who Tim Duncan is. I don't watch
the old guard. He was always just effective enough. He won multiple championships. And I was like, that is a very fitting sports analogy here. But JCap, you look at his numbers. He didn't have the greatest kills in the hard points against Optic last night. But overall in this tournament, he's above a 1.0 KD. So the man is carrying his own weight. But you have to look at the stars here. John and Apathy from last night were your 2 superstars. They are the 2 players off to the slowest start for Envy, and that can be worrisome.
Yeah, absolutely can be worrisome, and it's reflecting in the score right now as LG are up to a 40-second lead, and they're now set up for this new rotation. Octane snapping onto 2 players as he nearly gets the 2-piece, just getting him 1 shot now, and will buy himself some time to win that engagement versus JCap. Again, Envy finding themselves at a tough spot for this new hardpoint. FTL jump! Oh my goodness, nearly gets the beat down. That could have been dirty, but his teammate is there to trade it on out. 160 now to 101.
Luminosity won the first fight for the Turbine. That's how they pulled out to the big lead. Then they were able to transfer over to the hangar pretty nicely. This time around, it's Envy trying to lock it up. Classic causing problems. He was the only man there. Now he has 3 players behind him in support. Envy is going to get wiped. It's Luminosity with total control of the Turbine. This game starting to spiral out of control for Envious. They have to lock in this next hardpoint, Jack. If they lose the hangar, this game is basically done.
What I love from LG on this hardpoint is that they just decide to keep 3 players near the hill, and they trust Saints inside that factory area to hold off whatever pressure comes in. There it works for the most part. They don't gain too much time on this hard point. This is a key rotation, though, for Envy. They have 3 players in the hill, but look where LG are. They're on the far right of your minimap. They control the spawns for this. So if they get a good break here, this should be hard point over to LG.
Saints taking out JCap. Apathy answering back on Classic, and Slack is going to take out John. So it's going to be tough for Envy here. Just 20 points separating these 2 teams, but Saints is back in, Octane in the feed as well.
And there you see the spawns for Envy. They're having to push across this choke point on Skybridge. Thankfully, they have gotten 2 players in the hard point for the second, but Octane and Slack are there. The duo shut them down. And with 25 seconds remaining on this hard point still, LG can get quite close to that 200-second mark, closing in on a Game 1 win.
Envy, one last-ditch effort to contest. JCap and John trying to filter in, but Octane and Classic just too strong. Octane, we talked a little bit about Vegas and Luminosity's struggles. They finished in the top 8, but not where they wanted to place in that tournament. No. But despite a poor placing, Octane actually had the best KD out of all players when it came to respawn games. He is 20-11, definitely standing out for this squad.
Oh, and the guy's an absolute beast. There's been no secret since we've really seen him surge into the top tier of competitive Call of Duty from back in AW. Now, though, he's finding himself an opportunity to push towards a winner's bracket final, get themselves a top 3 placing here at the CWL Atlanta Open. A big reason why it's possible is this man right here, Saints, one of the most consistent players in the history of Call of Duty.
Classic just throwing his life away as he challenges the front, letting his teammate in the back, Saints, mop up the mess. I love the selfless plays that we're seeing here from the aggressive players, the backup AR, Octane, doing the damage from range, and now Saints, he continues to score. They're over the 200 mark. There's 13 points remaining here. I expect it to be about 210 to 165 as we rotate to the next hill. Saints staying alive. Envy's finally going to break through, but here's the next big gunfight. It's going to be at the top of your map. Let's watch it happen.
And we've been watching so much of LG, but Envy are absolutely still in this game. Through that whole rotation, they're still only down by 40, but at some point, they've got to begin to take this game back in their favor. It could start right now in middle, but really where I want to see it come into play is where we move towards this turbine area. Apathy, if he can earn himself this reactive armor, potentially bombardment and Trinity Rocket, that could be the key that Envy need to claw back into things.
JCap's turning up as well. He has active camo available for Envy. Meanwhile, Apathy has just been milking this time. JCap in your feed with another double. He's been flanking like crazy, and that shut down 2 straight pushes from Luminosity. We're about to see this game all tied up with just 1 or 2 more hard points to go.
And LG, they're deciding, let's just give this one up. We haven't been able to put any pressure towards middle. You can see it in their minimap, the far left side, 3 players already near the new hard point. This right here, folks, could be the game these next few engagements.
I thought Luminosity would have already won by now. Instead, it's Envy taking the lead. Here we go, baby. 213, 207.
Camo.
It's Luminosity set up first, but here comes a camo JCap.
Has 2 players in front of him, cleans up 1. There's the second. 3 kills now for Envy, and Classic, he's near Factory. It's a clean break. Great use of the payloads, and now JCap's about to earn himself streak.
And he is 1 kill with this Scarab away from getting the rocket. Is he going to be able to pick it up? The grenade takes out the Scarab. John up top is going to trade out. They know where the pressure is coming from. JCap feels the pinch, but it's Luminosity winning the gunfights.
JCap breaks in with camo. Classic does the same back to Envy. There he camos in through Factory. Envy have no idea. And we're going to see a hanger hard point where it's going to be, what, a 5-second game. Some of the craziest comebacks happen on this hill. We saw it earlier this weekend with Enigma 6, and now potentially again if Envy can wind up closing this one out.
234 to 234. It's a tie game. Luminosity taking the lead here. They are 11 points away from victory. Envy has to get in, and currently it's Envy set up first. The hanger being battled for. 2 straight kills for Luminosity. It's Saints looking for the 4th.
Saints earns himself the reactive armor, which is going to be so important as they try to hold off Envy. There's only 1 more player here. I don't think it's going to happen. Saints gets the kill, fully streaked out. LG take map number 1.
Atlanta, put your hands together. There is no better way to start a best of 5 than a game like that. Luminosity, perfect coming into this match. Envy, they were the underdogs. They're looking for revenge. If you look back to Vegas, it was Envy versus Luminosity for top 8. Luminosity got the better of them 3-1 in that series, and they're starting off hot once again.
And Chris, that was a win for Luminosity, but Envy, that shows their resilience as a team. It shows their leadership, their shot calling that they have. Even now, you see the communication from JCap over to John as they set up to go into a search and destroy. But remember what we brought up earlier. If Luminosity win that map, they go down 0-1 into an S&D. Game mode that Envy has yet to lose this weekend, 100% win percentage for them.
Well, I don't want to make any excuses for anybody, but I do want to point out John did not have a fantastic start to this match. And as we take a look at a few of the highlights, I want to talk a little bit about why John may be having some trouble. As many of you guys know, he broke his middle finger. He's been wearing a splint anytime he's not on the stage or warming up. And after the Optic Gaming match, he was so fired up, he gave a good fist bump to Formal. And he said, my finger is throbbing so much right now, should not have used that hand.
Hey, well, he dropped 38 versus Optic in the hard points, so apparently something's working for him there. Uncharacteristic from him off the break of that game. Maybe you attested to why Envy were down by such a deficit here. You see, they're down by 40 seconds. He's 6-12, the least amount of engagements as well for his team, which I think is pretty telling to how that game broke off for him. In the end, it was JCap and Apathy trying to get those streaks going, but LG just clutch up with a solid break, and again, the payload usage. Here's JCap's. You saw Classic on this hard point as well, but the reactive from Saints seals the deal in the final moments.
And Octane was just so solid all game long. He leads his team to finish the game 25-16. Let's take a look at some of our numbers here. The breakdown, Envy won the bridge, but it was turbine control from Luminosity that really helped them gather those leads. The big players in your match, it's JCap and Octane, 2 players we didn't talk about coming into this one.
It's so cool to see this breakdown. Bridge 92-45, so uncharacteristic, but a majority of that time difference came in that final rotation where Envy nearly got a full 60 seconds, which brought them back into that game. Actually gave them the lead by about 10 going into Turbine. Then what do we see? Luminosity get the majority time on that hill, which has been their strong suit in that game. And then as we move towards that hangar hardpoint, it was the closest of the 3 on that map. It's only fitting that it ends in that way.
Well, game 1 is in the books. It goes in favor of Luminosity, but as you touched on earlier, Envy is yet to lose a search and destroy. Do you expect them to be able to tie it up here?
I do. And Throwback is a map where you can actually see some versatility be brought out in regards to positioning as well as pacing. You can have teams 4-hit, fly out middle, send 4 players towards that bottom bike path side, but what we've seen from Envy is they trust John with that sniper to be the guy that gets the entry kill for their team, to watch over those long sight lines. And if you go towards that back bus, back lemon side, you can absolutely make your presence felt on this map.
We've seen some great sniper battles on Throwback throughout IW. If you look at Luminosity, who's the player to maybe battle John in that?
Oh, gosh. I mean, you could really trust anyone on this team with a sniper. Maybe Slack winds up bringing it out here. But if I'm LG, I think pressure is really what works out best for me against this envious squad. I want them to recognize that John does have the sniper, but then use the long-range AR ability, which has been very highly praised by the likes of Clayster and other top ARs, of that of Octane. They say his long-range shot is almost unmatched in competitive Call of Duty, and he can absolutely use that to his advantage.
It's almost better than a sniper rifle, his AR.
Right? Hey, you give him an MV4, and he can absolutely show up when you need him to.
He dropped to 1.52 KD in the first respawn. We'll see what he can do in Search and Destroy. Octane going to be your FTL jumper for this Luminosity team as we load up Throwback S&D. I talked with Saints a little bit backstage. He said, you know, when it comes to the SMG play, you're mostly going to see it from us in uplink, but if I'm feeling it, Throwback's my map to pull it out.
It makes a lot of sense, too. You get towards that middle map area, you go towards tunnel, flanked from that blue side, definitely can catch your opponents off guard. There's a look at our 2 sites on this map, and so far this weekend, we've seen pressure towards both sides, but absolutely site A on offense is the way to go for these teams. And Chris, I'm looking over at my monitor. You asked me who I thought would be the one from LG to try to contest John with the sniper, and look who has it out. It's, as I said, Slack will be the one to see how he can test his luck against the likes of John in this one.
Excited to see this one play out. Just one sniper in the game right now. It's in the hands of Luminosity. Slack. He's going to set up on top of the bus, and right away, he's looking for kills. But already, John with the 2-piece after Apathy got first blood. Slack, last man alive. That lasted 9 seconds.
I love it. I'm pretty sure these teams basically listen to all my strat calling there, because LG wind up flooding 3 players towards middle, and Envy expected. They send 4 players there. John with no sniper. They just outgun their opponents.
And John picked up 3 of the kills in your first round. Second, third, and fourth kill. Fantastic start for a guy who had a rough first hard point. And already Envy with the advantage. Now they're going to be on the attack. John going to lead the charge here with the K-Bar.
And you know these teams have studied each other so much coming into this weekend. They've scrimmed a ton. Slack with the high shots there over that underpass area to at least strike first blood for LG. But now here's Apathy with that submachine gun. You can absolutely do this push and catch your players off guard just like that.
We talked about the SMG play. Where will it come in? Probably on Throwback. Apathy, one of your 2 players to look out for with the SMGs. He's going to be cut down from behind, though. It's just Slasher left alive. That was a 1v3, now a 1v2. Make it a 2v0. Luminosity ties things up.
Yeah, and that first kill that you saw from Apathy, who's it on? Octane, who's as far back in the map as he can with a long-range AR. He's thinking that that top window area is covered, but because of how fast Apathy moved up the map, he did get a little bit of a timing window. In the end, it doesn't work out for Envy there, and at the end of the first 2 rounds, they'll be split 1-1.
Let's talk a little bit about the AR play. John, of course, having success with the K-Bar. We just saw 2 NV4s in play, though, from Luminosity. Is this something you've seen on regular basis here LG?
Absolutely, especially in Search and Destroy. The NV4 is an elite weapon in a lot of scenarios. Crusher comes out a good amount as well. But here on Throwback, it's because you can hop over and hit shots like this. The K-Bar from this range would not be the weapon you want to have, but an NV4 excels in these scenarios. Beautiful grenade, though, onto the site to at least stop this plant off the break.
And it looks like Classic has spotted that player under the bridge. Meanwhile, he knows there's someone over by Lemon. Spots both players, calls it out. The flank will be coming in, but not for another 10 seconds. Slack trying to maneuver around the map as quickly as he can. Octane and Classic playing the buddy system on the left side. It's Slacked here with the backstab.
This is typically what Envy are so good at. It's baiting and switching out their teammates. Now it's Slacked showing Envy some of their own strategies, as now he's still all the way in the back of the map. Tags up 2. But does go down, so it will be 3v2 number advantage for Envy in this round.
And I want to give big credit to Envious's JCap. He was the lone man at the bomb site, and Classic and Octane, they just had so much respect for him. They knew they couldn't challenge. Instead, they try and rotate middle. That buys Envy's teammates enough time to get back into position. Envy locks it down on D. I thought Slack did everything right there. He got the first kill, he ducked out, but I don't think he expected 2 players to rotate back for him.
Exactly, and maybe that's a miscommunication. He was there pre-aiming, but with both players from Envy, you know they're going to be team shotting. It's envious. There's no way they're going to make that mistake. and they show it right there. So we will have Envy back up 2-1, as it seems like so far in this game, defense has been the side of a lot of success.
No wins on the attack. It's been aggressive defenses that we've seen out of Envy this time. We'll see the rotation going down. Luminosity trying to do a 3-man hit along the baseball field. Classic checking every single corner, is going to be leading the charge, and he's going to find action as they know the bomb is down. Enemies must be set up to defend it. He turns his back just as a player peeks, tagged up and eliminated. First blood goes to Envy.
And there's a second as well from JCap. Tough spot for Luminosity to be in. Don't see how this is possible. There goes Saints. Envy, they get the quick plant, and I love that from Saint, one of our dedicated observers this weekend. Brings up the minimap full screen to show everybody at home. Luminosity are going for this long flank, and when Envy see nobody near A, they say, let's get this bomb down and make them pay for taking their time.
Big shout out to Brian Saint, former pro player, observer for us all weekend long. Show him some love on Twitter, ladies and gentlemen. He did a great job at our first winter semis, catching all of the action here in our second search and destroy. Third rather, and we're going to see Slack off the break, throwing out some tacticals. They're going to slow things down here for Luminosity, and this is the first time they're going to be targeting this bomb site.
Yeah, and again, keeping things interesting, adapting to your opponent, going for a different route. Classic, you know he wishes he got that one, but oh, hey, winds up getting it there on Apathy. No idea how that one wound up working out, but hey, I'm sure he'll take it. As now Luminosity get first blood, and they should be able to plant this bomb off.
JCap in the feed, all over it with John. 3 straight kills from Envy when everything was looking great for Luminosity. Envy just turns up, 2 players taking over, and now you see the score 4-1. They are perfect in search and destroy so far this weekend, and it looks like they're going to add another one to the resume.
Completely misplayed there by LG. You not only clear the site, you've got a 4v2 position to be in, and now you're sprinting at 2 pre-aiming ARs on Envy, just trying to shut out the round quick. A tough misplay and something that you cannot afford to give up to Envy.
JCap and John are combined for 11-3 at this point.
It's pretty good.
You got to get more kills if you're Luminosity. You got Octane, who was a breakout star last year, dominating in that first hard point, just 1-5, can't get anything going. John pulling out the sniper right now. You just see so much confidence. They already have first blood. Envy in total control. That was John's 7th kill.
Oh, John's been doing this throughout the weekend in Search and Destroy. It's why Envy are undefeated. Keeps bringing out the sniper and keeps making his impact felt. 3v3. Bomb has been planted, and I do believe John expects someone close on the site. There's a shot to Octane. He's earned himself the Centurion as well in the 2v2.
And John is going to spot another player, calls that out to JCap. JCap on your mini-map is going to be swarmed. 2 players there, and John just the wrong weaponry to assist. Saints and Slack clutching up. They're going to make it 4 versus 2 here as Luminosity starts to battle back. They have to win their next offense, though. So far, they have not been able to do so.
And that's the tough part right there for LG, because yes, they do win this round, but you think for the round prior, they should have taken that one as well. So instead of this being 4-2 Envy, it really should be a tie game going into round 7. But you've got to put it past you. As LG, they're keeping their spirits high. They know they could be the first this weekend to take an S&D off Envy.
I'm keeping my eyes here on Octane. Will he be able to show up and get a first pick? He's been positioned here almost every single round, and Envy just simply will not show themselves. Bomb already dropped. Saints eliminated. Luminosity has Octane tagged up now, down to about 30% health. Slack trying to survive, keeps his teammate alive with some cover fire, and still they have a chance. 3-on-4, though. This is not going to be easy.
Classic just going to try to hold this angle for the moment, but he's got 2 Envy players about to push towards this side. He's got Octane watching over him, but they're such an awkward spot to be in. That will be a round win for Envy. And Chris, this is what makes Envy such a good team. They continue to adapt. They see Saints on almost every offensive round go for a quick plan at A. What does Slasher do? Pre-fire it right away, and they kill him instantly.
And that face from Octane just says it all. So frustrated with their performance here on Throwback. Envy, no smiles yet. They know they're still behind a game. This is just to tie things up. The laser-like focus coming in from John, 9-4. Payloads could come into play here. You're watching Slasher, who has an FTL jump. John also has his payload available.
That Centurion, if they can plant that bomb, can absolutely use it as a defensive tool near that site. First blood traded on out from both teams, as it's now a 3v3 with play developing towards middle map.
Great angle there for Apathy, but just needed one more bullet. Slasher's going to clean it up on Octane. Slack, though, finds the bomb carrier. So LG has 2 players up versus Slasher. JCap bomb is down, and that's a big kill. It's only JCap left alive here for Envy.
JCap sees both players. This is absolutely possible, but the team shot does come in. We will see a round 9 as Luminosity stay alive in game 2.
Once again, it's been all about the defense.
100%. And it's because of how these teams know how their opponent plays. It's simple A pushes so far. The one round where a team went B on offense should have been a round win for LG, as they got the first 2 kills, but then failed to close it out. The comeback still possible, though, on throwback, search and destroy.
We got the org owner, Hastro, in the crowd cheering on his squad. He was there all last night when they played Optic Gaming, hugging the boys after the big win there. Now, having a chance to tie things up here at our best of 5. It's the winner semifinals. Winner here is guaranteed top 3, and that's massive for Envy, who is in the pro point race. They've spotted out the bomb carrier. They are set to finish off this game.
Envy weeks ago made the decision we're going to focus on team scrims more than anything, and it does look like it's been the right decision to this point in the tournament. Apathy, the lone player here, and you can see on your minimap he's about to feel a lot of pressure. I do like how he's holding this off angle, but he's going to peek on out and still get first blood onto Octane.
Trying to buy himself time with the tacticals, and he is going to find another kill here on Saints. Reactive armor goes down. No need. Hasn't taken a bullet yet, and he picks up 3 of the 4 kills. 6-3. Envy making a statement on throwback.
Apathy is elite, and Envy stay undefeated in search and destroy. You know, Chris, they say S&D wins championships, and that could very well be true this weekend for the boys in blue.
Slasher helping out with the final kill using that NV4. Solid stuff from Envious, but coming up next is going to be another respawn game mode, and it's going to be on Uplink. Can't wait to see who's going to win this swing game, Jack. Who are you feeling?
Oh, gosh. Yeah, you've got to look at Luminosity and the respawns to be quite solid, but if I'm not mistaken, again, both of these teams, like we said last night when it was Envy versus Optic, their weakest game mode is Uplink. So, too tough to call for me with how these teams have played. The hard point was so close. S&D a little bit of a different story, but I have a feeling this series is going game 5.
It's going to be a fantastic show. Don't go anywhere. The second winner semifinals returns when we come back from this commercial break. It's party time, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. It's Championship Sunday, and we've saved the winners semifinals for the big day. This, of course, will seed one of our teams into the winners finals to face off against E United, who is already guaranteed top 3 in this tournament. And, of course, we have to catch you up with what's going on in the losers bracket. We just got an update from the floor. What's happening, Jack?
Panda took the first map hardpoint versus Optic Gaming, but then OG stormed back with a 6-1 victory in Search and Destroy, which basically, talking to every team coming to this weekend, I probably would have thought that would be the opposite, with Optic Gaming taking hardpoint, and then Panda, who many people have regarded as one of the top S&D teams, taking that game mode, but it doesn't seem to be the case.
Also, FaZe knocked down to the losers bracket versus E United. They will face off against the winner of Optic Gaming or Panda. And we already know what happened on the other side of the losers bracket. Splice has played Infused. What happened there? Infused
3-0 Splice, which is now, I believe, their 5th straight best of 5 in their losers bracket run.
Marky B and the boys.
Stuff. There's a look at that. Look at that. It's right there on your screen.
Shout out to production. We talk about it. They make the graphics happen. Splice 3-0ing TGC, ending drama in the boys' run.
Look.
But now it's the EU battle going in favor of Infused. Splice said we can take out anyone in EU except maybe Ori. Well, this time, Infused showing up saying we could take you out as well.
And I love to see it. And it's Marky B. He's just, for some reason, when you bring Marky B to North America, he's like 3 times the player, and the rest of his team around him just always seems to perform well in North American soil. What's that now, top 6 for Marky B?
Top 6 for Marky B and Infused once again. They did it last year at an open event. They're doing it once again here in IW. But enough about the losers bracket. It's time to regain focus here in the winners bracket semifinals. Luminosity and Envy tied up as we're heading into Precinct.
Precinct Uplink, a map where the submachine guns will absolutely be brought out. I'm wondering, do Envy begin to use it here? Is it a tool that they possibly have in their arsenal to get an upper hand on their opponents? Definitely possible here, and oh gosh, I look over my screen, and what do I see? John with the ERAD.
I'm looking out for Octane in this one. Normally, he's your FTL jumper for the squad. This time around, he is going to be using the overdrive. Look for him to be all over the scoreboard as we kick things off. It's going to be JCap sticking with the K-Bar. John already eliminated. Apathy's going to pick up 2 kills to keep Envy in this fight, but looks like this one's stalling out in our first minute.
At the end of it all, it's NV4 versus NV4. Octane and Slasher, the last 2 up. As Precinct, the map where you can score very quickly if you get 1 solid push. Not going to happen here. If we talk about preferred versus less preferred side for some of these players, you could say that LG are on the less preferred side, but from what I've seen this weekend, Chris, it's been pretty darn even for the teams when scoring on either area.
Yeah, it's all about really just cycling the kills, right? You have to get a clean wipe, at least 3 down before you can push the drone up and do it one more time. Slack is going to be leading the charge, but Envy holds strong on defense. 2 players down as Octane still causing problems, but Envy now should be able to break out. The drone is in hand, and they're looking to go for a 1-point play here, potentially even a dunk if John can clean up 2 players coming off spawn.
Right here is an example of what makes Envy so good. This is maybe the first time I've seen this all weekend where they push towards gas. John with the 2-piece, the dunk comes in, but Luminosity, they're not ready for that at all. The pinch comes in from that middle map cut area near ATM, and they just get collapsed on right there. Beautiful dunk from Envy to score first.
And honestly, that was a massive kill coming in from Classic, stopping John. If Classic gets taken down and John picks up 1 more kill, you have Envy set up with the spawn trap already, and that's when things can just get out of hand. Instead, Luminosity bouncing back. They hit a 1-point play. That was Classic with the toss. And this is anybody's game here still in the first half. Luminosity winning some big gunfights. Slasher trying to keep his team in play, but it's Saint set up for the drone next.
Ooh, nearly turns on JCap right there. Doesn't wind up happening as play continues to develop. 2 minutes down in this one so far. Still a 1-possession game. As Envy and Luminosity in the first respawn, Chris, a 9-second difference in the hard point. You expect another close game here, and it looks like we're going to get it.
JCap and John all over the kill feed. Cap cleaned up though. Slack trying to feel out where the opponents are with the grenades. Gonna find 2 inside. Trophy system keeps them alive long enough to pick up 1 kill, and Classic and JCap are just gonna be trading it out. Honestly, Jack, neither team going on long streaks here. This has just been a battle of who can get 2 kills in a row first.
Yep, and there's another example of it right there with Saints somehow trading that one inside lobby. I'm wondering if Envy decided to just grab the drone. Yeah, there we go, finally. There they grabbed the drone. JCap was already pushed towards this top station side, so they will begin to push the objective. There's the entry kill on the Octane, a second one from Apathy. Oh yeah, this will absolutely be a dunk for Envy. They'll go up 4-1. It's a 2-possession game.
And JCap is the one locking it all down. His teammate coming in with the dunk. That was Slasher. 4-1, Envy with control, but only a 3-point lead here. It's a 2-possession game.
Interesting decision there from Envy. You saw them send 2. Whoa, the shockwave from Apathy, instant reaction time on the Classic. But right there, you saw Envy actually send 2 players towards that front van to try to spawn trap the boys of LG. But there was no one near the drone to rally it, so maybe a slight miscommunication. Maybe they thought their 4th teammate would be off spawn quicker. Doesn't work out there, so thankfully for LG, it's only 1 dunk for Envy, and they're keeping this game close enough.
You look at the numbers, everyone on Envy now is positive. After that first spawn trap, things starting to get out of hand here for Luminosity. They did get a 1-point play, and it looks like another toss goes in just a little bit short. Slasher is going to kill Slacked as he tosses. And now with drone inside their base, Envy is going to wrap this around Gas once again, not going for a reset. They want to go for more points.
I love this decision from Envy. They push right towards their opponent. Thankfully, Slacked is there a little bit earlier this time around to put some pressure onto the boys in blue. And I do believe they should be able to hold this one off. Apathy, yeah, he's the only one here. Unless he can make a miraculous play happen, and of course he does. It's Apathy. Thankfully for LG, the drone does reset, so no 1-point play opportunity there. And they already actually have Saints inside this drone area.
John picked up 1 kill and must have had 2 assists there because Apathy just melted people, and he is going to start steamrolling now. 7 straight kills, 17 and 8. He has taken over. And he is not going to hit the shockwave this time. Slack backs up, and it's going to be Saints holding strong as well. So Envy's push is stopped, but keep your eyes on Brian, a.k.a. Apathy. The man's back to beast mode.
Oh, he definitely is. LG, though, they want to end this half with a potential dunk. They've got the pinch from Saints. The drone carrier moving forward. 5 seconds left. There it is. 4-3 will be the score at the half. And right there, all the slaying, everything Envy did as a team, gets them a 1-point lead.
Fantastic comeback there from Luminosity both times. When things looked like they were getting really messy, somehow able to pick up 2 kills, 3 kills, make a quick push and convert it into scores. So Luminosity down 1. Now they're playing from the preferred side. Honestly, you have to look at this second half and think this is the team favored to win Game 3.
Oh, definitely, especially with how they just played it at the end there, waiting for the full team before they go for the final push. It's what separates a good team from a great team. What can LG do off the break? They've got the first 2 kills. They've got the first 3. They should grab this drone, move it through the ATM side. It's going to force a split spawn for Envy as players start to come from that top ticket as well as back Gas. The 1-point throw connects for Octane. Already a tied game inside 2.
Tie game, and coming into this one, both teams perfect here on Precinct. One of them about to be handed their first loss. Scarab available for JCap, but he is not going to be using that quite yet. It looks like now, after finding cover, it's time to scout it out. Finds 1 player, the blast shield going to keep him alive, but JCap now knows their locations, knows where the pressure is coming from, but still can't stop it. The drone just sitting in the middle of the map as all 8 players are simply looking for kills at this point.
And John just needs to get behind this cover. Beautifully done by him. Clears his flank for the second. He just needs to buy time for his teammates to come off spawn and get in good positions. And he's done that already. I do believe that that was enough from John. And yeah, you can see Octane and Saints really in no position to grab this drone, as well as they will move towards this back Cherry Blossom side and go for a similar push that Envy did earlier.
John was positive in the first half, off to a very slow start. He's 11 and 15 so far in this game after leading the team in terms of KD in all respawn game modes. So an off series in your first game and third game now for John. Luminosity applying the pressure. JCap is set up, gonna pick up 2. Another big defensive stand from Envy as JCap looking for a third, but simply runs out of ammo. Apathy, though, on the flank should be able to clean this up.
I don't think Envy were prepared for 2 Luminosity players to cut through that bottom construction side. It's why they don't get the score. JCap thought they had a clear lane, and now Luminosity look to make Envy pay for it. They have at least a 1-point throw. Instead, they're going to go for the dunk. They settle for the 1. Smart play by Octane, because if he doesn't, I think they go out without that push with getting a score.
JCap trying to get back into those sneaky positions is going to find Classic around the corner. And Envy at times has gotten control of Luminosity's base, but just unable to focus down the objective. This time around, it's Luminosity on another fast break. Envy coming off the spawns in the back, and Classic's throw not going to be far enough. That one's going to quickly reset. John with the two-piece, clearing house for Envious.
Chris, you brought up earlier, all 4 players of Envy positive. Now 2 of them negative, and Slasher nearly falling to that point as well. And you can see how it's changed up the map positioning. Most drone control since that happened has been in favor of Luminosity, and now the score reflects it.
And even Apathy, the guy who was 20 and 10 at the half, he's now 26 and 17. He's negative in the second half, so nobody from Envy showing up quite yet. You got 2 minutes and 5 seconds remaining, just a 1-point game though, so it's anyone's game at this point. John, gonna be rotating around, looking for the defenders. Gonna pick up one spawner. Now, will they push it through the back alley or try and loop it around the front? It looks like they're gonna brute force this. Not gonna happen quite yet. The 1-point toss will go in though, tie game.
Nicely done, Slasher, to at least get the objective in. Even though they lose map positioning, Apathy's just staying alive and buying time for his team to push from that top station side. 90 seconds remaining. Envy with the first 3 kills, make it 4, reactive armor 2. This should absolutely be a dunk for Envy as they look to take back the lead. There it is.
Nice 2-pointer coming through, minute 20. Luminosity feeling a little bit more pressure at this point. And now they're getting outgunned. John and JCap in your feed once again. Classic trying to battle back versus 2 players. Trades one, but Apathy is there. And now the loop. Once again, you have 3 players stacked up. Slasher leading the charge. He's got overdrive as well. Don't like to see him poking out first. And now instead of a dunk, you're gonna have to see Luminosity pushing for control.
This is the crazy thing though. LG about to have all 4 payloads earned. If they can just get them in these next 15 seconds, they might have a chance. Envy looking to make it a 2-possession game. He gets shot with camo. Saints with laser-like vision somehow kills him while fully camoed on the wall run. Now Slasher looking to see if he can make anything of this push. I don't think it's gonna happen.
Oh, it's happening.
What are you doing, Slasher? 30 seconds left. Envy still up by 2.
30 seconds, payloads available.
JCap's here?
JCap, though, can put this game away, and he is going to make it a 2-possession game with that 1-point toss.
Is JCap a groundhog? Where did he just come from?
He just snuck through the middle, man, got behind enemy lines and caused problems. Luminosity didn't see that one coming at all. There's just so much chaos on the far perimeter of the map. And instead, it's Envy going up 2-1.
Envy still looks so good, and we've talked so much about how Envy have looked lights out at S&D. Don't forget, LG have yet to drop a series this weekend, and now they're on the verge of losing to Envy in 1 more map.
How many times have you seen JCap flank now? He did it all scorched hard point, and in this uplink, you looked at that arrow, number 8, it was constantly JCap, just behind enemy lines, somehow slipping behind Luminosity, and then setting up to allow his teammates to get in for the scores at the end. He does it all himself.
He's magical. He really is. He's majestic. He walks around, and there's just an aura around him. And I'm not sure if it's the hair.
Oh, it's the hair.
It's the hair? Okay.
It's for sure. It's the actor hair.
I thought it was the hair. Yeah, the TV show. He's JCap. Sorry, man.
He's doing big things. 2-time world champion. He's on television. He's on your stream right now. We're going to see him in a game number 4 coming up next. It's another hard point. Envy, they have full momentum here. You have to see, will they be able to close it out with a 3-1 victory? Before we get to that game, though, let's take a look at some of the numbers. The player putting up some of the biggest ones in the tournament. It's Apathy. Possible MVP? I sure think so. The married man getting it done. He's back. He's practiced. He's ready to take over. And he has looked so good throughout this entire tournament. showing up once again in that first half strong and uplink. He kind of set the tone for Envious.
And you say possible MVP. Remember, at the end of the day, the Control Freak MVP that we're going to be awarding someone very well could be Apathy if he keeps this play going. Remember, this is for a spot in the top 3 here on Championship Sunday at the CWL Atlanta Open, presented by the PS4. If you're wondering what's going on in the other games, don't worry. After this match, I'm sure the studio will update you on everything that's gone on. Also, Bravo action at mlg.tv/COD Bravo. Get both streams open. Be sure to watch and stay involved in the conversation as well with the hashtag CWLPS4.
We know you got 3 monitors.
More than
all
that.
The windows.
Go grab your sister's cell phone. Grab the tablet from the living room that your mom's probably shopping on.
Throw it on Chromecast. Put it on your big screen.
Roku.
Run an HDMI downstairs to the man cave. Make it happen.
Just do everything.
It's game time, Jack. Game number 4 coming your way. The rig draft will be up any moment as we see Envy 1 game away from securing a rematch against E United in the winners bracket finals.
Yes, and I think the number 1 takeaway from this is even if LG do win this map, because Envy take the uplink, they secure themselves the opportunity to fight in Game 5 in the Search and Destroy as their fallback. Absolutely, Envy wants to end it here on Retaliation Hardpoint, but they have that in the back of their mind saying, hey, our best game mode, we still have 1 more to play this series. What can LG do in this one to make the comeback happen? I'm not entirely sure.
Mirror match coming in for game number 4. It's going to be all about the kills. If you look back to the first hardpoint, Octane was the star for Luminosity. He's got to get it going once again. He's been up and down so far in this series. Just constantly running into some pressure there in the last game from guys like Apathy, guys like Slasher even causing problems with the NV4 fight. So Here we go. It's retaliation. Jack, talk to me. When we look at these 2 teams, where do they make up the most ground on the scoreboard?
It's definitely going to be either that Graves hardpoint or the broken area of the map. This weekend so far, it seemed like the team that does the best at Graves seems to rotate and do the best over at Broken. Some things I will point out, though, you can absolutely have hills and situational times where any weapon can be used. For example, this middle hotel hallway, the ERAD from Josh is lights out for Splice when he uses it there. But this top street, Slasher with the NV4, he's one of the best players in the game at it. Let's see what he can do off the break.
Slasher going to be contested right away, and it's a wall-running Slack who's going to win that fight. It looks like Luminosity is going to get 2 of the first 3 kills. They'll be set up on the bridge first. And Classic will be the man inside the hill. The battle for control inside goes in favor to John. And now you got a flank potential here. Teammates pressuring from the back. John is going to be able to sneak up behind 2. Spots 1 and is able to get the first kill. Envy going to retake control.
John, 3-0 start. Snapping on players right now as he gets the 3-piece looking for more. Your COD Champs MVP always making plays happen. As now maybe he heard us talking about a possible MVP for Apathy, and he's going, no. That's my title to take.
I get those.
That's for me.
Slacked, able to pick up the kill on Slasher. So your scrap time going to be picked up by Luminosity. Basically a tie game as we go into our second hill. And now the rotation battle is on. Keep your eyes on JCap throughout this game, though. This time around, he's going to be player number 4 on your mini-map, and he is going to win that fight versus Saint. Slack chasing him down. But JCap already have caught him trying to flank twice.
And Octane, he's got players flying all around him from Envy. You see there, he's got nowhere to go. All of LG spawning towards that back broken area. Envy for the new hardpoint do have the spawns they want. But as we saw back on Scorch in map 1, we said that so many times, and because these teams are so good at communicating and coordinating pushes, they just snap the defensive setup with 1 solid push. So I really can't call that for either team as we begin to set up for this Graves Hill.
Lower street has been secured. JCap looking into hallway, will be positioned in bedroom most likely, and actually with 15 seconds left, they say, you know what, just give them lower street. We have to win the fight for Graveyard, and JCap's gonna have his hands full. 2 players. It's gonna be Classic working with Octane, trying to pinch in on him.
And JCap, he's got a 6th sense. He's ready for the pressure from Octane. But it does look like LG have at least pushed out the spawns for now, but these spawns do actually favor Envy. They get the first player near lower street. All of the Luminosity spawns towards top bridge, so now Slacked, he knows his pressure's coming in. He's gonna call the Scarab, cuts down Apathy. Can he stay alive long enough for reinforcements to come in? I do believe so.
3 straight kills from Luminosity. They're gonna hold on to the point. They have the lead as well. And they've spotted the push from Market. Will they have their flank watched? It looks like that's player 5 Octane, who has the long lines of sight with that NV4. He's going to call out too. Can't react in time. It's John and Apathy breaking in for the first 2 gunfights, and John will continue to roll. Nice push coming in from Envy. They break, and they have 16 points to gather here before rotating the broken. Apathy already hunting them down.
That looked so awkward for a few moments as teams were just pushing from that Market and top bridge side. But in the end, Luminosity, they give up the scrap time, yes, but they're set up now for this new hard point. And this is one of the toughest hills to break in the game if you've got to push from this top bridge area. Thankfully for Envy, they already have a player inside the hard point. That's going to be John leading on in. They're only down by about 8 seconds, and JCap has a beautiful flank on the Slack. There's one more player to push on down. I do believe Envy are going to get it done. Not quite yet. Saints is holding his own.
Big kill there. Apathy's challenging, and Apathy wins the big one-on-one. So it's Envy who can score. Apathy hops out of the hard point for a moment. His teammates now spawning up behind him, feeling confident to push out, and he is a man on a mission. John already 12-5. Apathy now positive on a 2 streak.
And to put things in perspective, that 2-piece we saw for Slasher, in that, 1 second window, matched the amount of kills he got on the first 3 hills of this entire map. So, slow start for Slasher, and Envy is still up by 10 seconds. If he can match the slaying we're used to, I think they're going to run away with this game.
Slasher has 3 players all around him. Gonna find 1. Shots in the back of Slack. The door pre-fired, sees the bullets, backs up safely. And while he's just distracting, his team continues to score in the center hall.
Yeah, Apathy's ready. But 2 players do come in. Slack with a nice grenade. John's now there. Pressure doesn't affect Luminosity too much. 104-79. Still JCap getting it done with the hip fire now with the K-bar. That right there perfectly sums up this weapon. Its versatility from up close and far away. Wall bangs the door. Envy looking quite solid in game 4.
JCap 12-10 led the team in their first hard point. Going up against Octane, who's just 7-11. Octane was their most dominant player for Luminosity on Scorched. He has been a non-factor so far. Just seems that the way Envy likes to play, it's not at range. Most of these gunfights have been at medium to short distance.
Yeah, and the majority of this time in the hotel hallway has gone over to Envy as well. So our first rotation finishes on out with the boys in blue with about a 40-second lead. You think back to that first hard point, kind of similar to what we saw between these 2 teams, where one just edged out the other through the first set of hills. One thing I want to point out, Chris, look at the scoreboard. All 4 players of LG negative at the moment.
Shots coming in from Octane. It's all Robin's Egg Blue in your kill feed. Your light blue squad, Luminosity. 40 points still to gather here on the bridge. They're slowly climbing back into this game. 128-110 and counting. John trying to break through, picked up 2, make it 3. It's everybody dead. It's John once again.
How does John get in these positions to make that happen? It's like he just floats down from the sky and lands right behind LG to get a 3-piece like that. Was nearly triple positive when he was 20-7, now 20-8, but either way, a minute and 10 seconds as well. He's got the most time in the lobby. He's doing everything for Envy right now.
Slack the only player even or positive, now negative after that death. Simply, it's Luminosity getting outslayed. You gotta stop John at this point. Apathy can't keep heating up. He's at 15-11, and JCap, he's had a great game, basically trading evenly and catching this Luminosity squad off guard, or at least delaying so that they can't get into these hard points. The slam coming in, doesn't land for Apathy. 2 players challenging, and he somehow escapes with his life and finds a kill.
Apathy is just showing off right now.
What?
On the main stage. Apathy gets 3,
Get 'em
making
all.
off 4. No, not this time. The duo that made them COD Champs winners in Black Ops 3, John and Apathy, absolutely shredding on Championship Sunday.
40 kills between the 2 players, and we still have about 2 more hills to go. 178-119. This was a 10-point game. Now it's Envy just blowing out LG.
Oh gosh, what can LG do? Well, the first step to it is potentially get a full 60 seconds on this graveyard hard point. They have players there, but it's key that Slasher's in this position, because for as long as he stays here, he will force the spawns from LG towards that top bridge, back broken side. And Envy know this. They're pushing from every single lane. This is the coordinated play I talk about.
Apathy gonna try and get sneaky once again, sliding around, finding one player in the back. Second player outgunned. Saint's gonna be taken out. Reactive armor available. Scarab is gonna be out scouting. The final moments of this game happening right now, and Apathy at this point, he's just a distraction and a scout. He knows where the pressure's coming from. 30 points still to gather here. Gonna outgun one, two more, make it three. The third kill is gonna land. Apathy on a 6 streak.
Double positive, getting the streaks as well. He's got reactive armor, folks. The boys in blue are back here at the CWL Atlanta Open. They're up by 100 seconds, and they're about, 15 seconds away from sending LG down to the losers bracket with their first series loss of the weekend.
Both of these squads looking stronger than they did in Vegas, but wow, has Envy improved. They were 3-1 by Luminosity back in Vegas in the fight for top 8. Now they guarantee themselves a top 3 finish if they're able to secure just 9 more points.
And they just got to stay coordinated with this play. This is what they've done throughout the entire weekend. Just wait right now. JCap does get this kill, but he'll stay alive, regain his health as his teammates are pushing across bridge. They've got 2 payloads to work with as well. Camo about to be earned. Even if LG gets his full 30 seconds, they're down by a minute in this game. It looks like it might happen. Envy now in the hard point. How are they getting all this time? They're now within 4 seconds of winning.
We take a look at your mini-map. It's going to be slacked, milking every last second. There's 15 more to gain. Envy is not going to be challenging for this hill. They instead will be trying to set up for the lower street. The middle halls have been locked down. Centurion is going to be there. They have control of the deck, and now the fight in the hallway should be locked up here from Envy. Will they be able to get it done?
This should be it. Luminosity with one last-ditch effort. John is there. Envious will place top 3 and move on into the championship winners bracket final. At least top 3.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the boys in blue. What a performance. John catching fire at the start of game 4, showing up big, making up for that game 1, and then Apathy to close things out. He survived when he was surrounded by so many Luminosity players, outgunning every single one of them. He closes out the game with a 7 streak and more, living up to the stats we showed right before this one.
When Apathy and John are on point, this team is on another level. They now continue to steamroll this winner's bracket. And LG, the question now comes into play. They fought that loser's bracket. Who do you have down there? I believe still Optic Gaming, FaZe, Panda, if that series is still going on, obviously Infused. A ton of talent there that they've now got to battle through.
There's so much happening. Can't wait to see what's coming up next. Jack, when are we going to see you cast next?
Not this next series, but the 2 after that. Winner's bracket final and loser's bracket final.
Well, we have a quick update for you guys. Optic Gaming is going to game number 5. We'll check that out, and we'll return in just a bit.